so stress-free. Yeah, I know. Surprising. Yeah, it is. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica and I'm your host on this channel, Jess Signatures. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a jacket, a standard basic jacket. We'll not be doing too much, but we'll be doing enough to make you have an idea and know the basic of how to make a jacket. Now, if you'll be interested in watching this, please follow me to the workstation. But before we go there, let me give you a little bit of insight on jackets. There are different kinds of jackets. There are lapel jackets with the short collar, which we'll be making in this video. There are lapel jackets that are notched, the one that you see the picture on the screen. There are jackets with vents at the back, on the center back. There are jackets with two vents on each side of the bodies. So all of these jackets, if you want to know how to make them, you need to know how to make the basic one first. So this video is a whole lot beginners friendly, but also if you're into fashion industry already and you just want another person's perspective of how to do it, then please follow me to the workstation. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. And to all returning subscribers, I want to say a very, very, very big thank you to you, because you're the ones that have been sustaining me on this channel. I love you all. Please remain faithful, and I hope I don't disappoint you. And for the new people coming, the new subscribers, let's call them new subscribers, because I believe after watching this video and others on this channel that you're interested in, you would subscribe to my channel. It will not cost you anything. You just need to click on that red subscription button, and that's it. That it's so stress-free. Yeah, I know. Surprising. Yeah, it is. So if you are interested in watching this video, let's go to the workstation. So the first thing to do is to get your basic bodies as usual. Like I said when I was drafting my basic bodies, is whatever you're doing, the first step is to get your basic bodies pattern. From there you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do when it comes to sewing. Now after doing that, I marked 1 inch for button allowance, 1 inch straight down for button allowance, because the jacket, of course, you have to button it. But if you do not want, there are some jackets that does not have button, so if you do not want to button it, then it's fine. So now I'm just drawing an horizontal line from, or a vertical line, whichever it is, from the waistline down to the neckline. Now you can decide, this is where the break point is on the waistline. You can decide it should be on the bust or a little bit under the bust, in between the bust and the waistline, or as low as the waistline like I did. So it's not like a rule that it must be on the waistline. Some people don't want it too revealing, while some people want it that way. So you do it according to the way your client wants. Now this part where I'm drawing a straight line, now you can decide to make it a curved line, but what my client wanted was the one with a straight line. So you can make it a curved line. It will also make your jacket look beautiful. And then at the end of the jacket, you want that smooth curve instead of a sharp edge. So just go up by 1.5 or 2 inches and then draw the curve to meet up with the remaining parts of the bodies. So that's basically what we're doing until we're going, but now we're going to the short collar. So now I measured the width that I had on my neckline. If you did 3 inches width, then you're going up with 3 inches. If you did 4 inches, then you're going up with 4 inches. That's this slanted line that I'm taking now.
Now, after going up by either 3, 4, or 5 inches, depending on what measurement you're working with, after doing that, you go behind. I don't know if that's making sense. You just draw half an inch backwards and then connect it back to that line. You can connect it with a curve. This is just for allowance to make your jacket sit properly on your shoulder. So you take half an inch backwards, and then the next thing is, you can see that I added paper at the top of my pattern, because with that paper that I had before, it will not be enough, because right now I'm drawing a slanted line towards the front of the jacket. If what I'm saying is not making sense, just keep looking at what I'm doing, then it will make sense to you, I hope. After doing that, you determine the width of your collar, how wide you want your collar to be. If you want it to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches, okay, that's too much. If you want it to be between 2 to let's say 5 inches, then all right. So what you just do is you mark the point where you want it to be and decide how you want the color to come out. You can decide to make it curved. So this line that I'm drawing straight, you draw it curved instead. Like, instead of drawing the line straight, you just curve it and decide and determine how you want the shape to come out. Whichever way you draw that line is how the end result of your color would be. So now I just add half an inch sewing allowance all around the jacket, except for the side part where we already have 1 inch sewing allowance. So now what I'm just doing is the basic dart that where we all know how to get your dart. Although as a beginner, when transferring your basic bodice pattern onto fresh pattern paper, you transfer the dart too, because if you wait till you get to this point before transferring your dart, then you might get confused because of the many lines that we already have in front there. So I didn't decide on time that I wanted this dart. That's why I did it this way. So you should already know what you want. Now what I'm doing is a shoulder dart. You can decide to do a basic and standard dart, but I'm making a shoulder dart. So on the shoulder line, I'm dividing the shoulder line by 2 equal parts. You divide the shoulder line by 2 equal parts and then connect it to where the dart meets. Like, you connect it to where your dart meets. You can do the basic dart, which is just the first one I did, and then if you don't understand it, you can see my video on how to make a basic bodice pattern. So I just went in by um half an inch on the waistline. You can do as much as 1 inch, you can do as much as 2 inches, depends on what you want. And if you don't know how to do this by now, then you need to check out my video on how I made my basic bodice pattern. So if you'd be interested in that video, it will be linked in the description box down below. So yeah, that's basically it about the pattern for the front side. Then we cut. You just cut like you would normally do for every other piece you're working on. So guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to share and turn up your notification bell. To all returning subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you. I love you all. Now you can see the front pattern is done and it's ready, and you can just use this to cut your blazers. From this pattern now, you can tweak it whatever way you want. Now the back pattern, I just transferred the normal basic bodice pattern onto fresh pattern paper, increase the length where I want the length to be, and then I put my shoulder dart. Like I said before, you can decide to make it a regular dart. It's no problem, depends on what you want. So I went inside on the waistline by 1 inch, and I'm connecting that line upwards, and also I'll connect it down to the um, end of the garment. Now what this line does is it eliminates that bulge at the back of the jacket, because like I always say, which I cannot overemphasize, the human body is not straight. So whatever you're making garment, put that into consideration. You can see initially I did a straight line, but later I decided to use a curved line. It does not have to be really really curvy, but it just have to work. So you do that, and then the next thing is to add your half an inch allowance all over the pattern. You can decide to make it 1 inch, you can decide to make it 2 inches allowance, but I didn't need all of those allowances, so half an inch is just fine. And then you cut. Now you can see the back pattern and the front pattern are both ready. So now to the cutting table. So the first thing to do when you want to sew it is to cut open the dart point, that straight to the shoulder. But if it's the normal dart, you can decide to leave it in, but our advice you cut it so it will relax properly.
I have the back bodice and I put half an inch allowance. The front too, I put half an inch allowance for the joining. And I got 2 pieces for each. So guys, after cutting everything together with their lining, the same thing for the lining, the front part, the front collar part, the front collar piece, this piece I cut interfacing for it just to give it some support, to make it stable a bit. So I cut interfacing for it. After that, instead of lining for this collar part, I'm also using the main fabric to line it, because I want when you turn it, the main fabric would also appear on the other side. So the first thing to do is to join these 2 pieces together. You join it like this. This one too. This side. You join it together. So guys, after joining it, you would have something like this. So this is the front, then the back. Here's the back. So for it to relax much, so guys, you can see that I've joined the front and the back together, and I press open the seams. You can see them, all of the seams. So next thing to do, this way. half an inch like this panel. This is the back panel, and this is the midpoint of the back panel. You put the midpoint to match the midpoint of this one, and then you pin it down. It you want to come. Then you sew like this. Match up your seams together. Sew one continuous stitch. Now, the same thing you do for this, you also do for your lining. So I'm talking this way. Put them right sides facing each other. Next one. So you're sewing round. What you're doing is you sew round all around.
So guys, after sewing all around, it's time for us to join the sleeves together, because right now the jacket is having like 4 sleeves because we have 2 for the main fabric and 2 for the lining. So what you do is you turn them in to the wrong side, and then you make them face each other. Now make sure the seam part is like aligning together, is facing the same place, and then you join them together, right side facing each other. This thing I'm saying might not make much sense, but what you have to do is watch what I am doing. You join them right side facing each other, like you're tucking it into each other. You can see what I did. Now the 2 seams, I press them open together and I pin them. Here you definitely need your pins. If you don't like working with pins, then you have to get some for this project. Now you join them together. You can see what I'm doing. You keep joining them facing each other, right side facing each other, right side facing each other. Mind you, when you're cutting your lining piece for the sleeve, you cut it half an inch smaller than the shorter than the main fabric, or 1 inch shorter, so that it will not be coming out from the sleeve. It will be able to tuck in when you decide to flip it in. So like we're saying, and let's continue doing what we're doing, we're just pinning the sleeve facing each other like this. Trust me, if you do exactly what I'm doing, you get it. Because if you don't do it this way, then the lining piece will be swelling inside the main bodies. Like it will be turning, it will be awkward if you don't do it this way. But if you do it this way, it will come out perfect. Now there is another way to make a suit or a jacket sleeve. It's a 2-piece sleeve. I'll be making that tutorial for us based on popular demand. So if you need it, then let me know in the comment section down below. Now I want to show you again what I did for the first sleeve. I made sure each side seam was facing each other. The side seam facing each other. I'm zooming in so that you can see closely what I'm doing. Now I've opened up the side seam for the main fabric, and I'm doing the same for the lining piece. So now I'll be joining them together like I did the first one. You can see right sides facing each other. like just easy peasy, right side facing each other, and then I pin again. If you do it this way, then you will not have any problem with the sleeves when you're done. So you do the same thing and turn it around. Okay, so if you don't have enough pins or you don't like working with pins, you don't have to pin it little by little the way I did that because of this tutorial. You can pin on the center piece, center part, and also the part where the joining is. So after doing that, you can take to your sewing machine. But if you're not sure of yourself, or you just like things to be in place intact, then you can as well do what I'm doing by pinning it all the way around. I hope I'm making sense. Please, if you've not subscribed yet to my channel, subscribe to my channel, like, share, and turn up your notification bell so that when I post any new video, you'll be one of the first people to get notified to go watch the video. So for all my returning subscribers, oh, I love you all. I want to say a very big thank you to you. And to the new subscribers, I want to say welcome to the family. We love you all. So guys, now we're done pinning. You take it to your sewing machine and sew all around. Okay, so guys, we finish sewing it. So if you do not leave any hole for turning, you can just open up a little hole anywhere you want to open it, and then you turn. Then after turning and ironing, you can now close back the holes. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Mwah.